Salam duka sepak bola Indonesia. Jangan ajari kami menjadi pembenci, karena mengapa kalian tiba-tiba berubah menjadi pembohong? Kalian yang meminta adik-adik kami bersemangat untuk berprestasi. Bukankah kalian pula yang menyiapkan mereka semua fasilitas agar nantinya mereka semua terlihat hebat di dunia? Bahkan di setiap kesempatan kalian bangga-banggakan mereka. Namun di saat yang sama kalian hempaskan mereka begitu saja, bahkan tanpa belas kasihan. Itukah cara kesatria? Lihat mereka sekarang, jiwa mereka tergoncang. Asa mereka untuk mengharumkan bumi para leluhurnya sirna menjadi sebuah kebencian. Ya, jangan pernah merubah watak adik-adik kami menjadi seorang pembenci. Mengapa kalian lakukan itu? Mengapa? Mengapa? Oh, aku kira kalian adalah malaikat. Ternyata pengkhianat.
Saga ini berlangsung sejak 2 minggu, tapi efektif dalam 10 hari terakhir. Usaha besar dari pemerintah Indonesia dan Asosiasi Sepak Bola Indonesia untuk memfasilitasi tim nasional Israel bisa tiba dan berpartisipasi dalam Piala Dunia usia 20. Tapi sayangnya tekanan dari, saya menyebutnya sekelompok kecil, grup ekstremis Islam yang disebut Aliansi Islam, kelompok politik agama yang bergerak di Indonesia. Aliansi Islam yang mengorganisir unjuk rasa ini bukan protes yang besar. Kita bisa bicara beberapa pengunjuk rasa di lokasi berbeda di Jakarta, di lokasi penting itu, jalan yang penting, kawasan pusat perdagangan. Tapi ini menyentuh hal yang saya sebut sangat sensitif. Poin yang menarik, pikiran orang Indonesia, apa itu Israel? Apa itu konflik Israel dan Palestina? Dan mereka kembali ke awal, Indonesia sebagai negara merdeka. Waktu itu Presiden Indonesia
focus on the Israeli-Palestinian conflict and to show this as a symbol for what Indonesia is all against. And they haven't changed this mindset for decades. And they didn't have the chance to meet Israel. They were supposed to play Israel in the World Cup qualifiers of 1958 and 1970, and in both times they withdrew. So this is the first time they get the right to host the World Cup, and apparently Israel qualified to this World Cup. Right. This is where the problem started, and I think that the president maybe, despite he wanted to bring Israel in, and of course the Indonesian Football Association wanted this, because imagine what it is for a country like Indonesia to host the World Cup business-wise.
Right. This is actually a World Cup for players under 20.
Once in a lifetime,
but it's still a big event in the world of soccer.
Exactly. For them, it's like it's one step before hosting a World Cup. Right. So imagine only the businessmen, the investors. It's a huge, and we are talking about a removal of a host nation less than 2 months before the first kickoff. of the tournament. It's unprecedented. Really, it's something terrible for us.
I just want to look briefly at the statement that FIFA released today. It read, following today's meeting between the FIFA president and the president of the Football Association of Indonesia, FIFA has decided, due to the current circumstances, to remove Indonesia as host of the FIFA U20 World Cup. A new host will be announced as soon as possible. Does not mention specifically Israel or the Palestinians, but maybe this is a rare chance. FIFA gets a lot of criticism, a lot of it justified, but I guess in this, credit has to be given for FIFA in this case for standing firm and saying, and others, I could say there are some other international sports associations that have not acted in this way and saying no, if Israel is not guaranteed a spot right now, you're not hosting this tournament.
Indeed, FIFA acted firmly and stood firmly, and I think that even the Indonesians themselves are in mixed emotion. I believe that the wide public would agree to accept Israel as guests in this tournament, and I think for FIFA as an organization, we've seen all the time saying don't mix sports and politics, right? Yeah. But with the Russian invasion to Ukraine, they did mix sports and politics dramatically. So I think that for Israel it's a good sign, because it's
a warning to other countries. Absolutely,
it's stopped a very problematic precedent from happening. If you would let it go and tell Israel will need to play maybe only in Bali or play in Singapore and the rest of the tournament, it will create the chaos.
Now, Ori, one reason why this is an important story that goes beyond sports is that Indonesia is often, Israeli officials even have spoken out and said Indonesia perhaps could be another country to join the Abraham Accords, establish relations with Israel. But you have to wonder if the mere presence of a soccer youth team from Israel caused this kind of uproar. There's going to be some problems to overcome for Indonesia to actually have relations with Israel.
For sure, I think there is a distance to run together for Israel and Indonesia behind the scenes to prepare and maybe change the public mindset on Indonesia, acknowledge them, educate them a little bit about what Israel is, what is the diversity of the people who are living here, and show different sides of this place, or maybe even different sides of the conflict, and maybe create a better ground for a better encounter. Sports is a fantastic encounter, okay?
It's also the forerunner. I'm old enough to remember the famous ping-pong diplomacy between the U.S. and Red China.
I think this was supposed to be the first test, to test the water, how boiled the situation is. The situation is boiling, but I'm full of hope and that maybe it's only the beginning of starting to understand this relationship between Israel and Indonesia, and in the future we'll speak differently.